What is up, guys? In today's video, we are going to be spectating more players in zero build solos. You guys seem to like the last video I made doing this. I've been kind of waiting until the update to see how it would change the game before I made another one because I didn't want to make a video that was just kind of irrelevant a day or two after. We're going to be going Logjam Lotus this game because it is a new POI that was just added today, so there should be a decent amount of people going there. We can get like a pretty chaotic start and hopefully spectate someone that's going to be playing somewhat aggressive and getting in a good amount of fights. And I have the added pressure that we're going to put on whoever we spectate that I have a crown, so when they kill me, they're going to get my crown. So we're going to be able to follow this crown throughout this entire match and hopefully see if the player who eliminates me is able to get a crown win. If you guys do enjoy the video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and comment down below which game mode you would like to see me spectate in next, whether I should do zero build solos again, duos, quads, trios, or if you would like to see me spectate in the build mode and see like how that plays out. Let me know down in the comments below. So who are we going to pick to let's kill us? Probably this guy. He had best drop. Hello, sir. Please eliminate me. Dang, he one pumped me. He's doing take the L. I was literally letting him kill me. Alright, we're going to stick with this guy. We're on here with Aldzerd. I'm so bad at reading names. No, not ready up. Spectate. That was almost a close one. I want to watch this guy to take the L on me. Looting this area, and if you guys haven't been to Logjam Lotus yet, this is a new POI that was just added when the update released on Tuesday as I'm recording this. And one thing that's really nice about it is it changes what it is from game to game. There's 4 different versions of this POI. Right now we're in the Wild West version. There's a pirate themed version, an Atlantis themed version, and a Roman themed version. And all of these reflect previous POIs that have been in Fortnite. So we see him here. He's going to try to third party this fight on Darth Vader. He gets the easy kill. Not really much to talk about there. He just gets an easy third-party kill. But this is the new POI that was just added today, so it's usually hot. There's somebody on the other side of this wall. He seems to be aware of that, though. Just playing the right shoulder peek. Now he's a left shoulder peek. It gets awkward fighting around these kegs. He rifted there. I'm not really sure if that was the play or not. Personally, I would have taken that fight, but I guess he just didn't want to fight that guy. I don't know. It's really awkward. This guy seemed like he's really confident at first, but now he's like kind of choking. There's a nice 138 tag there. Oh no, dude, that was almost close. Dang, this guy does take the L on everybody. He's got somewhat of an awkward loadout now because he has 2 Ranger ARs, a pump, and the hammer AR, so he doesn't really have a spray weapon. I like the hammer ARs and SMG sometimes in the zero build mode, but you really have to be confident to use it. It is somewhat awkward to use. Now he has no shield. He's probably going to take that combat SMG. Yeah, so he's going to have that as a spray weapon. He wants his chest. One thing I was going to say before that fight started was this place is usually decently populated since it's brand new. So, like, responding to third parties is, like, super important. Like, every time I come here, I either just get third-partied and die, or, like, I get third-partied indefinitely and we eventually just, like, kill all of them. There's somebody in a car outside his spot. He knows this. I don't know if this player's looking for him or they're just leaving. I think they might just be leaving, yeah. I don't think he should push that. He needs more loot here. He still doesn't have an AUG. And he doesn't have shield. And he doesn't have any extra shield either. There's some minis there as well as some mushrooms. Somebody was baiting that loot though. He needs to back up. He needs to get behind that tree. Like if he turns around a little bit. No, this is not good. He's just standing out in the open. But if he backs up a little bit, there's much more cover for him. He's going to go wide left. But yeah, so like that's one thing that you could definitely improve upon, this guy could, is just getting to cover right away when you have a fight in zero build. Unless you just like fry somebody and you know you're going to win the fight anyways, or like maybe you're third partying a fight with 2 players who are like super involved in the fight. You want to just put yourself to cover as soon as possible. Especially if you're in a case like this. He doesn't even have an AUG, he has a Ranger AR. I think he dies here. This fight sucks for the Ranger. Oh my god, that player just choked. If I was him, I would have been using my Stinger SMG there, not the Ranger AR. I really thought he was going to lose that fight. I wonder what happened to that guy. Because he, like... He fried the person we're spectating. And he just gave up. That's an NPC. That's a henchman. Oh, there's shield there. That's big. That's what he needs. You can get that mini. There's somebody about to third party him, though. There's a player lurking around here. I don't know if he saw it. I think he did. I would jump up on the roof if I was him. Put that down and get on the roof. The player that was waiting to third party him just got third party by somebody else. I told you, this place is third party central. And you see, he's still getting the keg when he was on the roof there. That's why I was saying he could jump on the roof. Wow, this guy does take the L on everybody, dude. We chose a good player to spectate. If I was him, I would swap that the Stinger SMG for the combat SMG that's right there. Sure, that's a purple Stinger versus a blue Combat, but the blue Combat will do more damage than the Stinger, and the Combat SMG has more range than the Stinger, which is something I personally like. Will he take the purple Combat, though? Okay, he does. I would take those Shockwaves as well. Or he chose to go back to the Stinger. Yeah, this loadout is not what I would take. Definitely, I would have had that purple Combat SMG, and then also I would not have taken the Star Wars Blaster. I don't think this thing is very good at all. I don't know if there was an AUG back there. I don't think there was, but I would much rather use the Hammer AR or the Ranger AR over this Star Wars Blaster. There was a fight that just happened here. I think it's over. I think I just saw the player in the window. How many kills does he have? I'm pretty sure he has a decent amount at this point. Oh, God. See, this is what I'm saying, bro. The Star Wars Blaster is so terrible. No one can hit shots with it. Like, everyone blames the Stormtroopers for having terrible accuracy in those movies, but the gun is just terrible. Took a lot of damage there. Like, imagine in that fight if he had the Ranger AR, the Hammer AR, or the AUG even. Like, he would have just fried that Obi-Wan Kenobi straight up. Gonna pop a med kit. I don't know if this is 2 bigs or 1. There's more shockwaves over there. That's another thing with his inventory. I definitely would have taken shockwaves. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know that, like, I love shockwaves, and I think they're super important. Where's this map? Okay, so he has a while to go for zone. He could get, like, an animal or a vehicle and just rotate in just fine. But he is going to have to be on his way. What the heck? He went for the 2-shot shotgun over the pump? What am I watching? You might want to take that med mist. Yeah. Personally, I would just take the shockwaves and get to zone faster, but I think he's going to opt to take the med mist and then just heal in zone if that's what he has to do. He's just booking it. There's a boat there that he could take. Also, there's likely animals in this area that he could take. I feel like a lot of people kind of underrate the animals and don't, like, kind of pay attention to them or, like, kind of consider them in situations like this, but the animals would be really helpful. He could also go through middle here and get some splashes on the way to zone. That's personally what I would do because I think chug splashes are, like, far and away the best healing item. The only downside is you're often going to have to fight when you go over there. It's a pretty chaotic area, but I think chug splashes are worth it. So if I was him, I would have taken those shockwaves, and I would be going to pick up chug splashes. And there's so many coolers in this area that he would have been able to find floppers to heal as well. That's another reason why I wouldn't have been as pressed to carry the med spray, because there's definitely going to be floppers in this area. So, yeah. And then 2-shot shotgun. I don't think the 2-shot shotgun is very good. I'm surprised he dropped the pump for it. I would take any pump over any 2-shot shotgun. That is how much I dislike the 2-shot shotgun. I do not think it is very good at all. He's going to try to run this player over, maybe? No? Alrighty then. I think he's going to chase. This guy's somewhat decently aggressive. Maybe. He's going to land up on this hill. That way he has high ground on him. That's decent. But it's not like the Ranger is that effective there anyways. Like, if he had an AUG, then, like, he can maybe do more. But the Ranger is so unreliable, I feel like. Fighting going on over there to his left. If I was him, I would be really wanting to third party this engagement because I would want an AUG. Like, the way some people view loot is like if they have less valuable loot, they tend to play more passive because they're not confident with the loot itself. And that makes sense to an extent. But also, if you have this loot here, like, I don't think the Ranger AR is ideal. And I don't think the 2-shot shotgun is ideal either. So if you don't get involved and get more loot somehow, then you're just always going to have bad loot. And that problem is never going to solve itself. So I think it's worth taking risks sometimes if you have not the best loot. There's also a loot pile to his left that he maybe could have taken advantage of. I know there was shockwaves in there. There also may have been like an AUG, a pump, who knows. He's going to take this Lambo and then probably wrap zone. Yeah, so if you wanted to just play this out to get the win and you didn't care about any kills, you'd want to end up over here. So I think you rotate in this way along this road and then get on this island, and then it can be awkward to play the island zones, but this island is a decent portion of the zone, so odds are you might get zone. And then even if you don't, there's an NPC that sells the ability to rift for gold. So even like, let's say you camp this island, you don't get zone and zone goes over here, you just buy the rift and then get there really easily, and that might end up being what this player does. However, if you wanted to get a lot of kills, like you didn't care about playing passive, then this area is probably going to be congested, and this area over here is probably going to be congested when the zone closes. So if you're looking for traffic, that's the way to do so. Most people are going to probably end up rotating through this way rather than going all the way around to the desert or to the north side. Like, just this area would be the most congested. It's seeming like he's going to go for that island strat. So yeah, you see the speech bubble on the map? I'm pretty sure that NPC sells a rift unless they just changed the inventory today. So he would be able to rift here if he doesn't get zoned. So he's actually in a really good spot. The only thing that's really lacking is his loadout. I don't know what he was just trying to buy from the NPC. But yeah, I would just say his loadout is not the best because, like, let's say best case scenario, he gets zoned on this island and everybody has to rotate to him. He can't even really do anything with that because he doesn't have an AUG. And the Ranger is just way less reliable for, like, beaming people out of the water. All right, he said 72 damage on this player, I think, or 71. I think it was 36, 35. Player shockwaved away, and you see if he had shockwaves in that situation, had he gotten decent damage, he would have been able to shockwave onto the player and end that fight right away, and then he would have control of this island. He is pushing this player, but the damage he got on him is mostly irrelevant. This is a bad play. And that is why shockwaves are super valuable. And the AUG. Like, I think if he had the AUG, he probably would have gotten more damage on the opening tags, and then he would have been able to pressure it with shockwaves. Whereas without shockwaves or without any mobility at all, he's not able to pressure that damage, and since he did 70 damage to the player, but you have 50 overshield and 0 build, he really only did 20 damage to the player since he wasn't able to pressure them right away. Like, by the time that he started fighting this player, this player would have had their overshield back. So now we have Spreading My Seed is who we're spectating, and he's the one who has my crown now. There's 13 players remaining. He's got splashes and shockwaves. See, he's got the best healing item. He was able to heal that damage he took immediately and shockwave away. So, like, that just goes to show the difference in the loadouts I was talking about. Shockwaves had a huge impact in that fight, and even if he had taken more damage, he would have been able to heal it right away with the chug splashes. He also has a DMR, which I'm not a huge fan of personally, but the DMR is going to be much better for holding people off this island than the AUG would be. And like we talked about before, the NPC on this island sells a rift, so even if he doesn't get zoned here, which we'll find out in 7 seconds, he'll be able to rift off no problem. We'll see if he ends up taking advantage of that, because he may or may not know about it. Alright, so he didn't get zoned. I personally would take that AUG over the DMR. Alright, so we'll see what he's going to do here. He's probably going to wait. So he's actually going to early rotate. He's probably going to play this island because odds are this player wants to play a little more passive just based on how he's been playing so far. So he probably plays this island, and if he gets zoned, he's in a really good spot. Even if he doesn't get zoned on this island, he has shockwaves, and he'll be able to easily shockwave from this island to the mainland again, if it comes to it. If he wanted to be a bit safer, he could have rifted to this island as well. He didn't need to actually, like, rotate here. He has 2,000 gold. It's actually interesting. You can see their gold. So I think the 250 for the rift wouldn't be that big of a deal. I don't find gold to be hard to get. I'm pretty much always at 5k. Playing is really passive. There's 12 opponents remaining. And the thing about... Okay, so he's about to fight somebody here, actually. This player got too close to him already. This DMR is useless here. You should pull out your shotgun, sir. Unless he just didn't want to make noise. Maybe that's what it was. Oh, this player is aggro. Dang, that was a close fight. Now we're on with a Twitch streamer, Twitch Dom. He has no assault rifle at all. Interesting. Which that can work endgame, but for a majority of fights in 0 build, I feel like you end up fighting mid-range. I guess that's why he chose to, like, grapple onto him right away. Like, he knew he had to make that a close range fight, otherwise he was going to lose it. So now this player is a grappler and shockwaves, an auto shotty, and an SMG. And there's 13 players remaining. I think there might be a fish in that net that he could use for HP. Yeah, he could eat one of these flappers if he really wanted to, but I guess he just doesn't care about the 14 HP, which is fine. It's not the biggest deal. Someone's taking damage across the way. What the heck? Like 50 damage pop up on the spectator. 10 opponents remaining. He's thinking about that fish? Okay, maybe he just didn't see it before. That's actually really unfortunate because had he known those fish were there before, he could have ate them to get his whites back and then held the splashes. And I would much rather have splashes than minis, and I think he'd be the same thing. Same thing we talked about before, though. If this player doesn't get zoned, it's small enough to where he can shockwave to wherever he needs to be. You know, if zone goes mainland, he can shockwave to it. If it goes this island, he can shockwave to it. So even while this is a water zone, you can kind of just bypass the water with the shockwave. It's actually going to get involved here. Playing decently aggro. If he gets on this little dome right here, he has a huge advantage on this fight down there. He just doesn't have the best ranged weapon because he doesn't have an AR, but it's okay. The SMGs are broken this season. That was over 100 damage there, and I'm pretty sure he cracked shield on that. This player has no shield. They got a mini off. Oh my gosh. Oh no. That is so awkward. That's unfortunate. I feel like he just took a little bit too long to decide whether or not he was pushing in that bush after he cracked the player. And then that's what cost him. If he just like cracked him and then immediately went in that bush, he would have had a much better chance of getting the kill. And it is awkward fighting in bushes, especially if you're a controller player because you won't have aim assist. But the auto shotty is kind of decent at dealing with that because it has a large spread and a decent fire rate. So if I was him there, after I got the tags on the player, I would have just gone straight into the bush and just tried to barrel stuff with the auto shotty. So this player is interesting loadout here. He has a 2-shot shotgun, glove, shockwaves, and a combat SMG. Personally, I would drop that the 2-shot shotgun for any of those autos or if there's a pump there. And then, yeah, you want those minis. And then also I would drop the glove for the AUG personally. The glove is okay, but I like shockwaves more than it. And I would like to have an AR. With this zone, you'll see, look. He has this island. He can go over here, and everybody else might have to come to him. So an AUG would be like pretty valuable here. I'm surprised there's so many people in this lobby that just aren't carrying the AUG at all. Like, I think the AR is super important for zero build. For build mode, I feel like you can kind of get by not having an AR end game because a lot of fights end up being close range with how like building and like boxing up works. But in zero build, I think, especially in a zone like this, a water zone, if he ends up getting zoned and the other players have to swim to him, he just has a free win if he has an AUG. The 1v1v1, so when it comes down to zones like this or situations like this, pretty much whichever 2 players end up fighting just get third-partied by the other player, unless the other player is so far away that they aren't able to third-party it, or one of them gets the kills really fast. So this guy's playing like really just to hide, and there's actually a crack between the rock and the porta potty that he might get sniped through. I don't agree with this. I don't know why people play just to hide. He could go on this little mountain to the left and like right here maybe, and he would have a third-person peek on the rest of the zone, and the guy still wouldn't be able to see him. So I don't know what he's doing. I think one of the players is on that tower. I think that was the guy sniping at him. I think he's just playing really hard to third party. They're fighting now, but he doesn't have an AUG, so he can't do anything about it. If he had an AUG right now, he could pressure that fight. And as you see, it's almost all water, and he is one of the few spots with land. I definitely think not taking that AUG was a mistake, and we'll see if that ends up costing him. It would be pretty unfortunate if he ends up in a spot where he could like beam somebody mid-range and he just doesn't have the firepower to do so. The other 2 players are trading shot, but they're not really committed to fighting. There's an AUG right there he could pick up. The one player's in the bush, the other player is sniping. And if he backed up a little bit here, I feel like he would still be able to see as much. Yeah, see, look at this. He could still see almost as much as zone when he's at like the crest of that mountain because the game is third person, but he isn't like, they wouldn't be able to see him or like really shoot at him. See, like that? Like this is where he should have been all along. He has just as much vision, if not more, and he's like actually safe. It's like super triggering me that he's not taking that AUG, bro. Imagine he has aimbot and just fries them across the map with a sub. Drop the shotgun for it. Interesting. But imagine if this AUG wasn't there. Like, he wouldn't have gotten that kill. Takes a shotgun. He's going to pressure this. The other player is full HP, though. I don't think this player that survived over there took any damage at all. Especially because he stole the kill in one burst. Like, the player he stole the kill from was hard winning that fight. Oh, no. This isn't good. He wants to be on that roof, I think. For sure. Like, if he was on that roof, he could just, like, he would have an easy angle there to, like, fry the guy. And he's going to have the 2-shot shotgun here. And it pans out. Wow. GG's. That's surprising. The 2-shot shotgun actually worked out there. And he emotes on him. But that is going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, like I said before, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more. Comment down below which mode you would like to see me spectate in next. And if you did learn something from this, comment that as well. I'd be interested to see. That was something I asked about before on the last one, and a lot of people did find it helpful. So let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful and which game mode you would like to see me spectate next. And if you would like to use supporter creator code EvolveJake in the item shop, I would much appreciate it. It's underneath the webcam at all times, but it's basically a way to support the channel while buying things that you were already going to buy. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.